Why don't we jump right into our headline topic, which is, of course, the supercomputer auction. Good Lord, if I had $1 for every single person who sent this bloody thing to me this week,
you could afford it.
I could have bought it.
Yeah.
The Cheyenne Supercomputer has sold, apparently, for $480,085 US. This is for sale by yes.gov, the US government. At one point, I believe it was in the top, I can't remember exactly, but it was in the, I think it was in like the top 20 or top 10 supercomputers in the world or something like that. It's about 7 years old though now. And if you guys read a little bit more into the details about it, you'll probably figure out why, in spite of the fact that it was looking like it might go for as little as about $8,000 US earlier in the week, I had no interest whatsoever in bidding on this thing. See, I swear to you,
if it went at $8,000 and you didn't buy it, that would have been a mistake.
That would have been maybe a mistake.
That would have definitely been a mistake.
That would have been maybe a mistake, definitely. Okay? We need only go as far as here, let's play a game.
Right.
Let's play a game called How Far Into This Page Do I Need to Read to Know What a Bad Idea It Is to Buy This Thing? Cheyenne Supercomputer. Looks good so far.
Fantastic.
Item name. Can confirm. It's good when these things match.
That is, yeah.
The sale lot number. I mean, that looks like a pretty lucky number. Cheyenne, Wyoming. Dude. It's 28 racks. 28 racks, all liquid cooling. That's the E racks. The E cells, there are 14 units weighing 1,500 pounds each. And I have to get this stuff from buttfuck Wyoming up to our warehouse where, here, let's keep reading. I will have to find a place to store, 28 rack units containing a total of 145,000 CPU cores that draw, and this is a direct quote. This is a direct quote here. 1.7 million watts under load. Sir, are you aware that with all of our buildings combined, we do not have enough power to actually run this thing?
Still could have bought it.
Okay.
If it was $8,000, you still should have bought it.
We could have salvaged it, but there are more issues. Hold on, because we can keep reading. Let's keep reading. Moving the system necessitates the engagement of a professional moving company. In fact, I don't believe that the buyer is even allowed on the premises, so that's something.
Wait,
yeah, because it has to be a professional. It's a data center. It's a highly secure area. Okay, so there's that. And then, no, it gets even better. It gets even better. Aside from these being outdated AF, like we're talking Haswell grade CPUs here with DDR4 2400. This thing is flipping slow. It took a team of, I believe it was a little less than 20 dedicated engineers to run maintenance on this thing. And
I'm not saying you should have ran it.
And they've been having issues with that maintenance to the point where they're saying, it's kind of costing more to run this thing than it's worth because their liquid cooling has apparently been leaking all over the place. This thing is a clusterfuck. And it seemed like there were some people out there who were serious about buying a supercomputer and like running it.
Oh, yeah, no.
And I'm looking at this thing going,
no,
brother, if you know anything about operating a supercomputer, you know that nobody is buying this thing to run it. $480,000 is honestly a scrap price.
Yeah, 100%.
You are ripping cabling out of it. You are ripping CPUs and memory modules. That is going straight to eBay. You're not operating this thing because anyone who has the kind of money to pay the $60,000 US a month that it is estimated just to put electricity in this thing's digital veins.
And find a place that you can even get that electricity.
Don't forget the cooling. If you have that kind of money, you can afford new hardware. You are not buying somebody's like ratted out Civic of a supercomputer and trying to lease out space on it. That's just not how this works.
6 years ago, you made a video on the SFU supercomputer.
I did.
And that got 2.5 million views, and it was 6 years ago.
Okay, 2.5 million views. Just for context, ladies and gentlemen, in the tech vertical is worth about $5,000. So
okay, but you know that's not how the math works.
No, the math's a little more favorable than that. But if I spent more than probably 50 to 100 grand on this thing, I better be profiting on the teardown of it, because otherwise I'm underwater.
Which gets
I'm underwater.
I agree at
even
that
if I make a number of videos, guys. That's not one video.
Yeah, that's
a number of videos.
Like 3 to 5 videos.
I'm doing a series.
Yeah,
it's a pickup vlog. We're driving to Wyoming, boys.
It's that Mr. Beast intro where the camera whips out and you've got this huge semi behind you.
I'm in an abandoned supercomputer. Meanwhile, it's like 6 minutes from the nearest micro center.
100%. But yeah, the other problem is if you're parting it out, you'd have to part it out like in the States.
Oh yeah,
and you'd have to film all your content in the States.
What I'm gonna
bring it over the border?
Import this mess.
Yeah,
you got to be kidding me.
There's no way.
It was a fun thing to dream about. It's one of those things where it's like, oh man, wouldn't it be cool to open a gaming hotel or start a gaming peripheral business, or like, oh, I had a cool idea and a fever dream, and I woke up in the middle of the night and I went, oh wait, $500,000 for what is essentially a gigantic pile of leaky e-waste.
Yeah, there's no way at that point.
No, it doesn't make any sense. But you know what? I didn't think of that.
What?
Travis Social in the Floatplane chat. You could write it off.
Free content.
I could have written it off.
And gotten like 5 videos.
I've made a terrible mistake.
You got to think harder, man. There's like almost no chance, but if the person who bought it reached out, would you like do any content on it?
I mean, yeah, I'd be super down.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
All right, people. Let's figure out who the heck bought this.
Realistically,
it probably has some. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no. This is basically one of those like computer shop dot whatever, like eBay stores, and they're ripping it apart. There's no way that anybody is actually going to try to operate this thing. It is woefully out of date. Their high RAM units have 256 gigs. I mean, there are gaming PCs out there, albeit not many, but there are gaming PCs out there that have 256 gigs of RAM in them these days. Like this is not aged well, and especially, it has not aged well with the way that the workloads for these supercomputers have evolved in the last 7 years. Yeah. There is a reason this is being decommissioned. This thing is a CPU supercomputer, which, ladies and gentlemen, is not how they build them right now. It, as far as I could tell, didn't really have any GPU compute units in it. It's also not designed with systems. Even that SFU supercomputer that I checked out 6 years ago had systems that had 1 terabyte or 2 terabytes or something of memory in them. They were either 4-way or 8-way CPU systems, so that they could have these gigantic pools of memory so that they could work on extremely large data sets. As far as I can tell, Cheyenne didn't have any such nodes and didn't have any such capabilities. So as data sets have grown and as the need for GPU compute for these supercomputing systems has grown, it has become not just out of date in terms of the how long it's been since the hardware was released, but it has become outdated in terms of the overall design philosophy of the system, in terms of the architecture of the system. It just didn't make any sense. But
that could be kind of a fun video.
It was a lot of fun. Oh, it apparently does have 184 GPUs.
Shraff says 73 RTX 4090s outperform this machine. It could be kind of a fun video to like try to build, like set up a, like we built the like Cheyenne supercomputer. That's a really good idea, and if I'd thought of it, we probably would have gotten started on that this week. I do wonder if we've missed the moment a little bit at this point. Maybe. Like if we had thrown, now that the auction's actually over.
Yeah, if we'd thrown together a cluster just of like random motherboards and just loaded up as many GPUs as we could have and friggin' like Ethernet cabled them together and been like, okay, I bought a supercomputer, but it isn't what you think.
It isn't that one. That'd be pretty funny. But yeah, it probably missed the mark a little bit.
Yeah. 1,680 petaflops. I mean, yeah, what's a 7950X? Petaflops. Oh my goodness, what is my browser doing? Do I look old enough that I need that? Yeah, it doesn't say. I guess that would be teraflops. Here, let's try teraflops. I don't know how many flops it has. How many flops you got, boys? Turns out nobody cares about the flops of CPUs anymore. All right, well, whatever, I'm over it.